Super. Let's see, maybe we put that on the side. We got 2 of those. How you doing, guys? So, back at it again. Grab my book. So, wanted to just film a quick one here, just talking about what we did to strengthen up the frame and box up the frame here. So, I ended up welding up some shackle mounts for the leaf springs and making those up and putting them on there, just trying to get the leaf springs on as quick as possible to try and get this thing on the ground to get like a look at ride height and stuff. You know, of course, realizing I'm jumping the gun there completely. So ended up, you know, getting fully into this thing, strengthening up the frame. So I'm going to slide in some videos here. You know, we're trying new things here just to keep things as interesting as possible, really, of what we're doing. So anyway, boxing the frame, that's basically what we're going to do and discuss on this one. So there was some rot on the sides here, so I'll slide a picture in just showing you where the rot was. We cut these old little chunks of metal that they had brazed on back in who knows when, the 30s, 40s, whatever, but they survived it that long. Not anymore. Cut those out. Ended up cleaning up the inside of the frame a bit. So we did fish plating across there. So I cut up a couple of pieces of metal on the plasma cutter and put those inside the edge of the frame, welded those all down. Got a little bit of footage there of just drilling the holes for the plug welds and then putting them in, of course. Yeah, so once those went in, the frame was looking pretty good, feeling pretty strong. We always decided that, you know, a little bit of overkill doesn't hurt, but the next thing that happened from there was boxing the frame. So the overkill on it is boxing the frame, you know, like back to the basic here. We have 100 and something horsepower going into this at the most. Now that we're done boxing the frame, this is probably going to be able to accept about 400 horsepower or something in there. You know, you could put your small block in there. Not a Chevy, but you could put any other small block possibly in there. But right now, you know, we have the build, so we're just doing what we're doing. And so boxing the frame went pretty good too. We used 1/8 of an inch plate all the way throughout the front and sides of it. And, you know, again, plasma cutter, that all got welded in place, cleaned up. Went through, plug welded all the holes in the side of the frame as well too. So, you know, when this is finally done, I'm going to be painting the frame, obviously, getting the car dressed out. So I thought it was important to plug weld all the old holes that are no longer being used in the frame. So a little bit of video there for you just to see what happened with the plug welds. And then, yeah, once we got the plug welds all done, I really, like I said, wanted to get this car on the ground, or truck on the ground. So opened up the cover on the rear end, opened that up. The fluid looked pretty clean in it. So it was kind of a, you know, go ahead with it at that. We had to widen, the spring perches on it. So I cut the spring perches off, did that as clean as I could, cleaned up the area and moved the perches to where they had to fit for the leaf springs. Welded those back on, and there you go. Bob's your uncle. They're on there, and the leaf springs fit, and the truck is on the ground. So hopefully, you know, we'll get enough little bits in here so you can get a gist of what was going on to get the frame to where it is now. But that one's kind of a big check mark off the list now that we have the strength of that and what we want. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll be sure to keep them coming. So right on.